Hello there. I'm Scotty, and you're not. And I have a confession. I can't speak English. I have a confession to make. So a couple months ago now, I announced I was going to do more Pick 10s, including Pick 10 Jim Carrey. The problem with that is I was trying to line up the 10 movies to review. And so today, I put in Liar Liar, which is the review I'm doing right now. And I was watching it, and my thing is, although I did stop myself from watching Kindergarten Cop the other night, because I was going to do that in honor of Ivan Reitman. Ivan Reitman's a different person. Ivan Reitman. I try to stop myself from messing up the last name, and I just do it. Ivan Reitman, excuse me. But I'm going to end up doing a whole review series on its own for that later down the line. But, the thing is, my rule usually is if I put a movie in and I'm watching it, then I have to review it. The thing with Kindergarten Cop, I was only like 10 minutes in. Here, by the time I realized that I already had enough, it was when he was on the airport doing the thing. So, yeah, that was a little too far for me to just stop. So, here we are, and I will be doing the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have to buy one movie. I won't tell you which one, but I have to buy one of them because I had 10, and this means that I will not be reviewing Bruce Almighty for this month. Sorry to say. But, actually, that one would have been better, and then this one. Okay, so, Liar Liar, if you don't know, which if you don't know, what's wrong with you? Well, if you don't know, Jim Carrey plays Fletcher Reed, a lawyer who is not a very good father to his son. He's always lying. He can't make it. He's, all that stuff. So for his son's 6th birthday, his son wishes on his birthday cake, candles.
Sorry, actually, I think it was 5th because Jim Carrey did, halfway into the movie, have a birthday cake for his son, but it said 5 on it. I think it's 1 year later at the end that it's 6. Sorry, go ahead.
No, this says basic plot on the back. Nothing. But anyway, his son's birthday, doesn't matter how old he is. Oh, he looks older than 5, but
it's a movie.
It's a movie. If 30-year-olds can be teenagers in Greece, a 9-year-old can play 5. Anyway, I don't know.
And if they can call the mystery gang kids, even though they look like
Shaggy's got a goatee. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Sorry. Continue.
Let's continue the review, man. Anyway, I forgot where was that?
The kid.
I didn't mean hit my head that hard.
You're talking about how Jim Carrey's kid.
Yes, he wishes on the cake that his dad cannot lie for a whole day. And then my comrade over there said, "Well, why one day?" It's a good question. The answer is that I don't know how a 5-year-old, if that's how he's supposed to be, would think of this, but you only need one day because after going through one day of telling the truth, you realize how bad it is to lie, which is what ends up happening. Hope you didn't hear that. Sorry, a little gassy today. So yeah, did I mention he's a lawyer? You kind of need to be able to lie to be a lawyer. And if there's lawyers out there watching this, and you say, no, that's not true, well, you are a lawyer, so I can't trust that anyway. Yes, and he's on this important case for Mrs. Cole, who is played by Jennifer Tilly, and apparently she is a whore because she slept with 7 men at different occasions. I mean, at first they say it's 7 different occasions that she slept with someone else, and then later it sounds like it's 7 different men, 1 occasion each, so that's 7. I don't know, but they go to court, and they have like a prenuptial agreement. He's got to win this case for her. The problem is, he can't lie now. And okay, so as a father myself, this movie gets me. This even before I was a father though, this is my favorite. Has been my favorite Jim Carrey movie. But I know people say, "Oh, Ace Ventura, Dumber and Dumber,
Bruce Almighty."
Bruce Almighty. They're my favorite.
The Grinch.
The Grinch. Even to some point, no, I don't think anyone says the Grinch is their favorite. But so, at some point, maybe even the Cable Guy. Well, nobody says the Cable Guy, but like the Truman Show, maybe. Uh-oh.
What?
I miscounted. I forgot to cross off another movie. So I have to bite. Anyway, I don't know, I'll think of it. But anyway. God damn it.
Sorry.
Yeah, this will always be my favorite Jim Carrey movie. I haven't seen some of his other ones, but because it's one I grew up with, which is why I'm reviewing it this month. But it's one that they often played on ABC a lot, and it's just one that always gets me. Even before I was a father, it's like, being the fact that I didn't actually have a father, and the father figure I grew up with wasn't exactly what you would call kosher. Yeah, or a good father figure. The best thing came out of him was my brother. But,
same goes for Terry Conroy.
I don't want to... But, anyway.
YouTuber.
Yes, I know he's a YouTuber. They know he's a YouTuber. Subscribe to his channel. I don't know him. I don't watch his channel, but just do it anyway.
He's a Let's Player.
He's a Let's Player. Let's talk about this movie!
Sorry!
But anyway, as we get under 15, less than 20 minutes, or a little more than 20 minutes before the AEW guys starts. So, yeah, so this movie has always kind of stuck with me. Being as I didn't really have a father, my, father figure growing up wasn't much of a father figure. The only real father figure I had was my grandpa. And unfortunately, he's not dead, but that's not unfortunate. I mean, he's not dead, so I don't want to say unfortunately. He's no longer with us, but unfortunately, he's sort of abandoned us. But being I didn't have a father just kind of hits me, right into feel bads, and feel the heartstrings, as someone who wants to be father. And as a father, it also hits me there because I want to be there for my son. And much like Mrs. Cole's ex-husband, I don't have custody. I have visitations. And so I feel for that guy. I feel for Fletcher. But, yeah, so going through this movie, there are some logic issues. But I do like that for once in a movie, like in movies and TV shows, sometimes you see reckless driving and nothing happens. Here, he gets pulled over. And then but that's where we get a scene of him listing off every bad thing he's done while driving. At least he's honest.
And it shows the parking tickets.
I haven't paid parking tickets. My favorite scene in this movie, though, has to be the scene where he's in the bathroom and he's beating himself up, and the guy comes in and goes, what are you doing? I'm kicking my ass. Do you mind? Love that scene. And then he goes, because he uses this as a reason to, have a recess. And then the judge asks him, do you feel like...
Can you continue, basically?
Can you continue? Yes. Yes, I can. So, yeah, and also the scene when he's in his office with the pen, trying to write, this pen is red. The color of this pen is red, but it won't allow him. And then when his secretary walks in, he's covered. He wrote all over his face blue. And he goes, this pen is blue. And just, there are so many times you can tell that he is ad-libbing, and you'll wonder how hard it was for the other actors to not burst out for certain scenes, like, you know, even there's bloopers at the end that show, you know, that there were some times that they just couldn't, you know, and even from those bloopers, you could tell that people were having a good time. I think for the most part, like Jim Carrey, this was when he was on point. This was 1997. This was, you know, the 90s were big for Jim Carrey. He had Dumb and Dumber, he had The Mask, he had Ace Ventura, two of them. He had this, The Truman Show, Man on the Moon, and The Cable Guy, all within the 90s. He was big, and not to mention...
Was Almighty in the 90s?
No, that's 2004.
Okay, well, that's right.
Because everything up to... The Grinch was 2000. I didn't write it down, because I already did that one. Because I watched it on cable. Of all places. But yeah, and so the mother decides, okay, so here's my hiccup with all this. So at the beginning of the movie, she tells Fletcher, the mom, Audrey, tells Fletcher she's been dating the Drake Pirate Roberts for 7 months. And if you don't get a joke, it's Carrie Always, Princess Bride. So she's been dating Wesley for about 7 months, and then he pops the question to her a couple nights later, and she doesn't know what to say, but then says yes. But you know it's only because she's mad at Fletcher, so that they can get, because he's going to go to Boston, so if she says yes, she'll get Max away from that. And I understand if they're trying to protect their son, but all you mothers, don't take your child away from his father. No, you don't want to do that. And she realizes that that's wrong by the end of it. But here's the hiccup here is that she says it's been 7 months and she's all gonna marry the guy. You could tell later that she's really iffy on it because she's like drinking heavily on the plane, which all the stuff that you can bring on a plane, and alcohol is okay to have on a plane. I'll never get it. The pilots can't drink it, but you know. Yeah, I really like the actors in this. You know, Jim Carrey, of course, was fantastic. You have Jennifer Tilly playing the role. You know, seeing her cleavage for most of her time in the film isn't bad either. Suzie Kurtz, she's the opposite lawyer, I think. She's supposed to be a lawyer, I think, for the ex-husband. And really, technically, she's the good guy in the situation, and he's trying to help the she-bitch. And this really got me. Because after they win, what Fletcher does is he exposes that Mrs. Cole lied on her driver's license, and she's actually younger than she's supposed to be. That says that she is. And so that means that the prenuptial agreement and everything is null and void in the state of California, at least at this point. History, who knows if that's even true, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. Yeah. And so he won, but now she wants full custody of the kids. And again, don't do that. I feel for the guy. But yeah, and then this climax we have here, which in this kind of movie, you would think there'd be an action climax, but he gets to the airport, they're already on the plane, so he goes down the runway on this giant thing of stairs that can somehow keep up with this plane that by this point should have already taken off, as my compadre said during the movie. It should have taken off already, but it's still just going down the runway because it's on the same runway as the Fast and the Furious 6, and you know how long that runway was in that movie. Jesus Christ! But apparently, that's just a joke. I don't think it's the same one, but I don't know. That thing was long, and that was a big airplane too. But yeah, what other actors? I like the actress who played his secretary. She was kind of funny. I've seen her in other things. I think she was in Mrs. Doubtfire, actually. As the social worker lady. I think she was in that. With the whole scene with the... Hello! I think she was in that one. And then Carrey Always, of course, I mentioned. Don't think I know any other actors.
Yeah, you're looking it up
now. The kid, I always think the kid in this is the same kid from Home Alone 3, but it's not. This kid was in a sitcom on ABC called My Brother's Keeper, or Brother's Keeper, and I can't find any episodes on YouTube of that. I used to watch that all the time when it was on. But, Amanda Donahoe, is she lawyer? I just reviewed The Lair of the White Worm. Suzie Kurtz for Tilly. Mara Turney, who plays Audrey. I can't remember her name. She's from News Radio. She's good in this. She's a nice mother. You know, she's a good mother character.
What was the one that you said was in Mrs. Doubtfire?
The secretary. I forget her name.
Annie? Greta. Annie?
Greta. Yeah, Greta. Greta. Because he yells it when she gets to the jail. Greta!
She's in Mrs. Doubtfire.
That's what I thought. So yeah, but there's really no problems I have with this movie other than you don't take your children from their fathers. And the whole hiccup with the thing that I now forgot because...
Just so you know, she died in 2001.
I figured she wasn't with us anymore. So rest in peace, good lady. And you have a good performance in this film. But, I gotta say, though, when it comes to Liar Liar, I just gotta say, fly it to the moon because I think it's near perfect. There's really nothing bad I can say about it. It's my favorite Jim Carrey movie. It's my favorite, acting performance of Jim Carrey. Come at me.
I got the thing now. She played Mrs. Sellner.
Mrs. Sellner, yes. Oh, Mrs. Sellner. Oh, Mrs. Sellner. I'm in the shower. I'm coming out. I just got out of the shower right now. But I got so much I want to tell you. First, I've got a job. But yeah, to the moon. So what are your thoughts on Liar Liar? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.